Hey guys, Kurt from Time Machine Transport. So I'm doing a follow-up video on the one I just did about the generals and the admirals. So a lot of people, and I said this months ago, and I said it the other day, yesterday, or whatever day it was, on my video about they will turn on Trump. And what are they doing? They're turning on Trump. I'm not saying I'm some sort of prophet, like, oh, Kurt, you're right. It just makes, this is all pre-scripted. This is a big Broadway without the musical. This is all theater. This is all pre-scripted, and people are turning on Trump. That's all I'm hearing this morning on or yesterday and today. About how Trump has lost it. He's a disgrace. The generals hate him. Hegseth, he embarrassed our country. All this other stuff. If you honestly believe that this meeting with all these higher ups, with all these important people in our military, if you think for 1 second that this was really about the new standards of the U.S. military, do you really think that they're going to fly in, 800 important people to Quantico, which I don't think it was in Quantico. What do I know? I don't have a crystal ball, right? Do you really think that in this recession that we currently live in, with everything priced sky high right now, you think the American people are going to be happy and supportive if our government pays? It had to have been millions of dollars to fly with the security details and the comms people. All this stuff, the assistance to the generals, whatever the case is. Who knows what the true number is? Do you think for 1 minute, 1 second, that Trump would risk the criticism, the embarrassment, the harassment? Do you think he would really risk that as being the Trump? No, absolutely not. He's not going to do that. He is way smarter than that. And like I said, I am not a big Trump supporter. We voted for Trump. I don't think that he's the cure-all. And I have doubts about Trump. Just plain and simple. So do you honestly think, with his reputation, with his ego, that he would just go out there and embarrass himself like that? This is all theater. This is all a show. And wherever this meeting took place with all these attendees, excuse me, they flew in all these attendees, millions of dollars, had it televised or available to the nation, and the world, actually. It was all just a bunch of propaganda, that part of it. The other part of it, which we don't know about, that was the real reason why they flew in all these attendees for eyes and ears only, because our secured lines aren't secure anymore. So all the stuff that went on in that meeting about the standards and this and that and the old generals and, all this other stuff, you couldn't have sent that out in an email or did the Zoom call like people are saying. Non-military people are, oh yeah, you can just do this on Zoom. Well, stuff like that is, it's a satellite link, I'm sure. I don't know. I wasn't in military intelligence. I was in the military. I'm a veteran, in a combat unit. So do you really think that they would allow the nation, the world, to see what a just a crock of shit and nonsense that this meeting was? First off, the time to put it all together, you had security details, you had assistance, you had all this other stuff to the attendees. Again, I'm sure it was millions and millions of dollars in a recession that we live in, and the American people are like, oh yeah, sure, I got to pay, $7 for a gallon of milk, but it's okay to fly in all these people to tell them these are the new standards. Did not happen. I mean, it happened, but it was all for show. They had that eyes and ears moment either before that meeting or after that meeting. But the meeting itself was just a front. It was just Broadway without the musical. And that was so Trump and his administration, there's absolutely no way you are from my loins. When I get home, I'm going to slap your mama in the mouth. Do you honestly think, I mean, all these people are turning on this administration now. That's all I'm hearing is Trump is this, and Trump's embarrassing, and Trump's losing it, and all this other stuff. Look at his hand. One guy was like, look at his hand. It was puffy. Probably from all the Big Macs he eats. I don't know. He says he loves McDonald's, whatever. So they're turning on him. They are absolutely turning on him. Kurt with his crystal ball, right? The prophet. No. Trump is not that stupid to have a meeting of this size with these attendees to have Hegseth say this is the new standard. That makes absolutely no sense. That's all just a bunch of nonsense, and people are biting it, man. They're taking that hook, line, and sinker. Oh, this is an embarrassment. This is this. He's this. They're this. The whole, dictatorship. That's what he wants. Come on. Now, on the flip side of that, who knows what's going on behind closed doors? We will never know. And would you really want to know? I wouldn't. Just go about your day, man. You don't have to sit home with the trigger on, in your living room with your finger on the trigger waiting for doomsday. You still have to go on with your life. You still have things to do, right? All these, all this chaos going on in all these cities, Portland, Chicago, blah, 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 DC. So our country is planting or implanting all these, they say National Guard, so they probably will be National Guard at first around this country. And maybe they'll put tier 2, tier 1 people in the place. So after the National Guard gets there, they set up, because if you're not a veteran, you weren't in the military, or you never served, whatever, you don't know the amount of support that goes in. Like, I was stationed in Vicenza, Italy, in an airborne unit, and our post was a closed post, means it had walls around it. You couldn't just walk on like you can in Fort Benning or a lot of the big military bases and posts. There's a lot. I like that car. That's sharp. I like those new Genesis, man. Those are, well, they're not new, but I like the Genesis, man. They're pretty nice. So they don't, right off the fucking tracks, derailed. Oh, look at that. I want a puppy. So if you knew the amount of support it takes to set up a military operation, you need logistics, you need cooks, you need supply, you need transport, you need transport is logistics, duh. You need admin, you need, all this stuff. So is that what the National Guard is doing? Is, there these all this chaos going on in these cities? Is it all just, again, theater? You send ICE in, you pay these actors to go in there and cause chaos and disrupt this and disrupt that. And then you say, you know what, we're going to go ahead and send in the National Guard. And the people are up in arms, right? So they're taking, the government to court because it's their state, their city, whatever the case is. Is this all just a major, major act, pre-scripted, like I said, and they send in the National Guard, and that National Guard is actually, even though they're on the streets, whatever, so, people are like, oh, it's 100 troops. That's not really, a significant amount. Well, maybe it's 100 troops to set up, the support system, and then you send in, tier 1, tier 2 guys that actually are there now kind of posing as National Guard, and you have this all around the country, right? Because our government knows that something's always coming, right? You watch a lot of these prepper channels. I told you this was coming. Well, yeah, no shit, dummy. Something's always going to happen. But is that truly what is happening? Is they're sending in all these National Guard support units, which are setting up everything, and then they slip out, and the tier 1, tier 2 guys get set up now. Now they think that they're still National Guard, because I truly believe, and again, don't sit home with your finger on the trigger. That's ridiculous. You should have some kind of preparation for things, whether it's a tornado or a flood or a hurricane or earthquake or floods. I mean, all kinds of stuff, right? You should really have a plan B or a plan C. My point being is, there's no way, absolutely no way, Trump is going to humiliate himself or the country he loves to go on national television, on world television, and have this propaganda thing and put all these important, attendees at risk of everybody being in the one place at the one time. I mean, you want to talk about a security risk. Oh my God. Why would he do that? Just because they're all turning on him. It's all, he's being, this, he's that. I mean, people have turned on him bad. Do you think the amount, the millions of dollars it took to make this happen, the nonsense that happened with the speeches, these generals talking about, I'm quitting, I'm out of here, I walked out, come on, man. Do you think, because when you listen to the whole speech thing with him and Hegseth, it wasn't a supportive atmosphere? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's one of the things in the military, man. You gotta show motivation, man. Even if it's false motivation, you want to go and, hoorah, all this other stuff, right? Hua is what we say in the Army. So the generals were barely clapping, cheering, whatever the case is. Well, that right there tells you, Trump is not being accepted by his generals or whatever the case is. He's a dictator, and that's why he's doing this, because I truly believe there is martial law coming. I truly believe that, well, I don't think it happened in Quantico. Why would they tell your adversary, oh, it's going to be right here in Quantico? No. This was, like I said, they had the eyes and ears only thing either before that or after that. They used this as an excuse to bring in all these, these attendees. It's all a show. And if you for one second think that it was really about the new standard or protocol for the military, you are there's no hope for you. Seriously, there's no way Trump's embarrassing himself. There's no way he's going to take that kind of criticism and everything else. It just makes absolutely no sense. So stop listening to this bullshit ass media stuff. That's exactly what this administration wants and needs is all this criticism, because then it's out there and they're like, well, our plan worked. We still got everybody here for the eyes and ears. And this administration looks like a bunch of jackasses that spent millions of dollars bringing in all these attendees to tell them something that could have been done on the Zoom meeting or in an email. It makes absolutely no sense. Anyways, I find it just absolutely insane that people are believing this, and they're actually, doing, all these videos about this and that and his hand and this, and, it's like they bought it hook, line, and sinker. Or is that the plan also? Like the media is like, we have to throw this out. And another thing on the attendees, if they didn't clap and didn't hoo-ah and all this other stuff, because this is this is supposed to be, the meeting is supposed to be a sign of what word am I looking for? Loyalty, a sign of loyalty, not to Trump, but to the country, to the military, and to show camaraderie and just all that stuff, right? Well, they were like, oh, the generals aren't clapping, they're not cheering. What? Well, maybe if they had this meeting, or I would put a large bet, and I am not a gambling man, that there was something other. This was all just a front. So the reason why they weren't all clapping and all motivated and, showing this and that camaraderie, and did they have the meeting first? And all the stuff that was said in that eyes and ears only was still on their minds, and they're like, fuck, something it's coming. It's coming. Is that the reason why? Quite possibly. But yeah, man, just think about it. If you have all these National Guards that are going into all these different cities, they're setting up. Those are the support troops that are coming in, and everybody needs support troops. That's a huge part of, being in the military. And but yeah, I wanted to do a video on that because, like I said, they're turning on Trump. They're turning on him. And this was not about the standard for the military. That absolutely makes no sense. So anyways, I'm done gabbing. I got to get in here and deliver these packages for my wife at the post office. My wife does eBay stuff on the side. But anyways, just wanted to put that out there. Just think about it, man. Be smart. Be smart. Don't be a dumpski, man. So anyways, please like and subscribe to the channel. Ciao.